since we've got the tickets to Japan, I was trying to figure out what would be the best optimal photography slash videography gear for me to take to Japan. When you have options, it suddenly becomes harder to make a decision. Obviously, right? If you just have one camera, one lens, you don't have a choice, you just go with that. But over the years, you start to accumulate the gear, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse in one single package. So in my case, I have 2 cameras and 4 lenses in between those 2 cameras. So one of them is my recent acquisition, this Fujifilm X-T50, this beauty right here, which I actually love and definitely will be taking this bad boy with me to Japan. It will be basically a second camera, something that I can give to my wife and she can just put it into the auto and make shots as well. So I guess a second camera or big camera, and sometimes maybe I'll be doing shots with it as well. So that's a no-brainer. It has a 27mm lens on it, 2.8 TT Artisan, which I kinda grew to like, even though it's not the fastest in terms of the autofocus. It has quite a vignetting as well, but I think it does the job well. I actually quite enjoy this lens. It has quite a small profile. On top of that, this black piece here, it's just the filter, the UV filter with the magnetic cap, which I got from the KF Concept. The small rig cover, which I absolutely adore, and it's minimal, compact. I've got this thumb grip here, so to hold it better in my hand and avoid the issues with the Q button on the side. You know, all the good parts. It's lightweight, amazing, straight out of the camera, JPEGs. Absolutely loving this setup. Anyway, so that's a no-brainer. That comes with us. My second camera is the Sony a7R5, and it's a full frame, quite chunky camera. And with it I have 3 lenses. One is the prime, which I'm filming on, and I always film with that prime. It's a 35mm 1.8 by Sony. Absolutely loving that lens because it's compact, it's bright enough or fast enough, whatever you call it, and it does the job. I just absolutely loving it. But that lens definitely not coming with me. I'm not like I wouldn't go with the close to this lens for sure. Like, it's probably doesn't make sense in my head. Why would I take just 2 primes given I have another options? By the way, so this 27mm is the 40mm equivalent for full frame. So 35 and 40 will be quite close to each other. So yeah, not worth taking that 35. Anyways, that 35 is kind of currently has a single purpose, is to do my talking head videos, and it does the job pretty well, and I'm keeping it here in my cabin. But then I have 2 lenses which I always debate these days when I go and shoot, even though these 2 lenses that I will be talking about further, they have different focal lengths, so they don't even overlap on each other. So the first one is the Sony 24 to 50 millimeter G lens. It's kind of a lightweight for a standard zoom lens with the constant aperture of f2.8. It's fast, it's sharp, it's great for video, for photo. It's just overall amazing lens. Yeah, I love this lens. So that's option number 1. The advantages of this one are quite obvious. It's lightweight. It's native Sony lens. The second one is the Tamron 50 to 400. If you are not new to my channel, you probably already heard me talking about this bad boy in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen that one, then just check this video here. Now, this lens is an absolute beast. You can throw it into pretty much anything and it will do the job just fine. It can handle anything, really. The only time where I've realized that I've made a wrong choice when I took this lens instead of my Sony 24-50 is when we went for a hike in the Blue Mountains into the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is this sort of like a gorge hike where you walk in between the like in sort of like a rocky corridors for 6 kilometers, and 50-400 just doesn't really the lens for this kind of hike, because you kind of limited by this walls surrounding you and there's just not enough space for this lens to do the job. You actually want to be on the wider range of your focal length, I guess, and this is where I thought that I should have taken the 24-50. But I digress. So now you know the options. I have these two lenses and I was debating in my head which setup should I bring. So initial thought was take this one for street, tight shots or whatever. Well, street and a bit wider shots and pretty much all around, and then bring the A7R5 with the Tamron 50-400. Kind of a no-brainer combo. The truth is that you can actually go quite intimate with this lens. You can be invisible for your subject on the streets and do this close-ups, compression shots, and it just produces this amazing imagery without disturbing people, which I really like. But obviously there is a downside to this lens. It's freaking heavy. It's over a kilo. It takes a lot of space, and I'm actually not sure if that would be the best option out there. Especially there is one thing that I didn't yet mention to you, and that thing is that I will also be filming videos. So it will be a mix of shots, of the photography shots and the video reels. And this is where I think 24-50 will shine. I have an ND filter by the Freewell, the magnetic one. I believe for video / photography, this would be a better choice. Because first of all, it's brighter or faster, whatever you call it, with the f2.8 aperture. And given an ND on top of that, it should work in way more scenarios versus this one, the 50-400 Tamron, because it actually starts at f4.5 at the 50 and then it ends at 6.3. So we're losing quite a few stops with this one. And I'm not sure if I'd be able to just shoot video having ND on top of this one and still be with the reasonable exposure and the aperture. Maybe I'd actually have to take out the NDs, which I'm not a big fan of. Because with this particular system, it's actually not that easy. So I'm bringing the Freewell with me. And the problem of the Freewell version 2 magnetic system is that, so you have a cap, which is the magnetic one. That's cool. That's all great, right? It clicks, it goes out. But then when you need to remove your ND, for example, if you'd like to do photo shots, you can't. You have to unscrew each side of the ND filter, and only afterwards you can remove the ND. Alternatively, you don't screw them at all, but then you're risking losing the filter itself every time you remove the cap, because cap can actually pull the ND filter with it as well. So it's kind of not ideal setup. Ideally I should change it. By now I actually leaning towards, again, Fuji and Sony with 24 to 50. The reason being, it's much lighter. 24 to 50 should be enough, and the overall goal here is to make more photos, not less. But then you might say, why don't bring two of them? Well, in this case it will become a struggle of swapping the lenses every now and then, and even debating which one I should pick at certain point in time, plus an extra killer if I bring this one will be quite an issue on my back. So I think currently the decision still stands. I will bring this lens for the Sony and the Fuji as a B camera slash camera for my wife. It's funny how you end up with more and more gear as the time grows. Yeah, I think that's the winner. Ease of use, lightness, then majority of the situations that I'll be put into will be on the streets, lots of tight situations because it's Japan. So I think this lens is definitely gonna shine. There'll be probably one or two situations where I would absolutely regret not bringing this lens, but I think it'll be alright. This is it for me for today. Just a bit of a rant. Hopefully you might found it useful. Please let me know down below what are your thoughts on my setup. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.